Hi everyone. So you're interested in moving to Oklahoma City and you've turned to YouTube for some answers from content creators that you hope know what they're talking about. Well, just like you, I research stuff all the time also on YouTube, but in my case, since it always seems like my car needs something that has to be fixed, what I'm looking for are car repair videos, because I'll admit it, I'm too cheap to pay someone to do the work. So when I need help, I look for these videos repair videos from experienced mechanics that know what they're talking about. And really, to be honest with you, so far, I've never been burned, and frankly, I've saved a lot of money. So, since you found my channel, I can assure you that I too know what I'm talking about. Not when it comes to cars, but at least when it comes to all things having to do with Oklahoma City. And now, why would I say that? I say it because I've lived here all my life. I've lived here over 60 years. Yeah, you heard that right. And I have the gray hair and the wrinkles to prove it. So, I think it's safe to say I'm qualified to provide answers for the questions you might have about moving here. So, what I've done is I've started off with a video with just some basic information about this place. And while there's a ton of things I could talk about, I narrowed it down to just 5 basic things about Oklahoma City that I think you need to know before you get here. Now, some of these might surprise you. So in no particular order, let's start with 5 things that newcomers need to know about living in Oklahoma City. And if you stick around till the end, I'll fill you in on a bonus topic that I think you'll also find interesting. Okay, so let's get started. Number 1, weather. When you think of Oklahoma, in large part thanks to the movie Twister, what comes to mind to many are the frequent tornadoes that happen here. And no, unlike the movie, we don't have flying cows. The cows, although will probably show up in the Twister sequel that I just found out is slated for the summer of 2024 when it comes out. True story though, when my wife and I and several friends, we went to the premiere here in Oklahoma City of Twister back in 1996. In the middle of the movie, they stopped the film and we had to evacuate the theater. Why? Because there was a tornado on the ground nearby. No joke. So, yeah, it's true. Oklahoma and Oklahoma City, we sit in the middle of what's called Tornado Alley. And we have large, devastating storms here. And the tornadoes we have here, some of them are very big and they do a lot of damage. The May 3rd, 1999 tornado that we had that devastated parts of Moore and Del City, Oklahoma, which are adjacent to Oklahoma City. That was the largest, most powerful tornado ever recorded. It was an F5 category storm and it had winds upwards of 300 miles an hour. On that day though, in May 3rd, we also had 27 other large tornadoes that formed and moved across central Oklahoma. The devastation that one tornado caused was beyond belief, as I saw firsthand. I was actually part of a Red Cross team that offered hot meals. We went into ground zero immediately after the storm. It was amazing. There was nothing left standing over 4 foot high. Unbelievable to witness. Just know that these kind of large tornadoes, these twisters, are the exception. They're not the rule, and they're not something to obsess about. The truth is, in the 60 plus years I've lived here, I've never seen a tornado in real life. So weather forecasting here has come a long way, and the weather radar we use nowadays is very sophisticated. It'll give you plenty of time to prepare if it looks like the actual risk of being affected by one in your lifetime here is very, very low. But nonetheless, many homes in Oklahoma are now being built with in-ground tornado shelters, including the house I live in now. Although, to be honest with you, we've never had to use it. So while large tornadoes are rare, the damaging hail that also sometimes accompanies large storms, we seem to have damaging hail here frequently. This stuff puts Oklahoma in the top 3 nationally when it comes to hail damage to automobiles. In 2017, Oklahoma had 650,000 properties damaged by hail, and as a result, especially when it comes to homeowners insurance policy premiums, rates here, they can be sky high. We have very, very high deductibles. Why? Because of claims relating to wind and hail. So if you move here, when you take out your insurance policy, if you buy a home, choose your policy carefully and be sure to read the fine print. Now, in wintertime here in Oklahoma, we only usually get about 6 to 7 inches of snow, not a whole lot. But what we do get, we get a lot of ice. And we get significant amounts of ice. So these storms are frequent, and then boy, when they happen, they wreak havoc. Why? Because they down large trees and power lines, and they leave a ton of people without power. Oftentimes for days and weeks, one's heading your way. So for that reason, some Oklahomans bite the bullet and go ahead and invest in a home power generator, which while it's expensive, it can be a lifesaver for some folks. Even as little as 1/10 of an inch of ice can cause Oklahoma City streets to turn into skating rinks. And trust me, Oklahomans, they do not know how to drive on ice and snow. So be advised. So before we head to number 2, let me introduce myself. My name is Lynn Taggart, and I'm a realtor with Coldwell Banker Select here in Edmond, Oklahoma. Oklahoma City, that's been my home for 62 of my 66 years. I grew up here. I went to school here. I was married here. Hey, I bought my first house here at 14% interest rate. If you think rates today are high. And I raised my kids here. And before becoming a realtor, I worked here all my adult life, both as an engineer, most recently for Devon Energy, the largest independent oil company here in Oklahoma City, and they occupy the tallest building in the state of Oklahoma, in downtown Oklahoma City. And as a marketing executive for Sonic, the well-known fast food chain. So suffice it to say, I know all parts of Oklahoma City really well, and I look forward to meeting you and also to working with you if you're thinking about moving here. So now that you know a little bit about me, let's keep on rolling. So let's jump to number 2, which is probably the main reason most people are interested in coming here. And what's that? Well, it's the cost of living. The cost of living here is very, very, very affordable. It's very reasonable. It's very low compared to the rest of the country. Primarily, the overall cost of living is low because of the price of housing here. Our costs are significantly less than national averages. The average home in Oklahoma City is $229,000 compared to nearly $400,000 nationwide. So if you're looking to move here, let's say from either the East or West Coast, your money goes a lot further here when it comes to finding a nice place to live. A recent study that I found showed that housing-wise, Oklahoma City ranks as the 10th most affordable of the 50 biggest cities in the United States. Other costs are low here too. Energy costs run about 9% below the national average. Food costs here run about 11% below national averages. Healthcare costs here are 21% below national averages, and our transportation costs are also low, running about 14% below national averages. So it's very affordable to live here. Number 3, church attendance here is very high. Maybe that shouldn't be too surprising since Oklahoma sits, at the west edge of what's come to be known as the Bible Belt. Recent census data that I found shows that 66% of Oklahoma City residents don't just consider themselves to be religious, but they actually are affiliated with a religious congregation. And of those that consider themselves religious, 40% identify themselves as Baptist, 14% as Methodist, and 10% as Catholic. And also, just so you know, we also have several Jewish temples and synagogues here. We have Buddhist temples, we have a Hindu temple, and we have a mosque. So if you're looking for a church home, you're likely to find one here in Oklahoma City. Nationally, when it comes to states with the highest percentage of residents that regularly attend church, Oklahoma ranks in the top 10. So that being the case, with so many churchgoers in this state, what's a real disconnect for many is what's coming in here at number 4. Number 4, marijuana in Oklahoma City is big business. Marijuana use for medicinal purposes only was legalized in Oklahoma in 2018. Yes, that's right. Weed is legal, sort of, in church-attending red state Oklahoma. Patients must obtain a board-certified physician's signature to be able to purchase it, however. That being the case, lax regulation and low barriers to entry have really triggered explosive growth in the industry here in the state. We're now referred to as the Wild West of weed, with both legal and illegal trade practices taking place here. It's not uncommon to see a marijuana dispensary now on literally every street corner in every part of Oklahoma City. I kid you not. The debate over the ongoing merits of marijuana came to a head just last week when a statewide vote was held on March 7th to determine whether or not to legalize recreational marijuana. But as it turned out, the measure was defeated by a vote of about 2-1. Number 5, sports. Be prepared when moving here to be swept up in all things having to do with sports in Oklahoma. It's one of my favorites. In Oklahoma, college football is king. And among families like mine, allegiances are often split right down the middle between the two state universities, what we call a house divided. Split between the University of Oklahoma, the OU Sooners, their fans sharing the same roof with Oklahoma State University, OSU Cowboy fans. Saturdays in the fall in either Norman, where OU is located, or Stillwater, where OSU is located, are spectacles to behold. Now, not to be outdone, attending an Oklahoma City Thunder NBA game at the Paycom Center in downtown Oklahoma City is an experience not to be missed. It's a lot of fun. I've never been to an NBA game until the Thunder came here. And by the way, the basketball on display is always top notch. I mean, we have a very young team that's really on the rise, and a lot of talent, and the future is very bright. If you're a baseball fan, the Oklahoma City Dodgers are the AAA affiliate of the Los Angeles Dodgers. They play ball at the Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. We just call it the Brick. And the Brick is considered one of the finest minor league ballparks in the nation. When summer rolls around and temperatures soar in the triple digits and you really need somewhere to cool off, Oklahoma City boasts the nation's only urban whitewater rafting and kayaking center. It's really cool. It's located on the Oklahoma River next to downtown. So thanks for sticking around until the end of this video. I did promise you that there's one more topic, a sixth topic that you need to be aware of, and it's this. Number 6, Oklahoma City is big, and we're growing. Surprisingly, Oklahoma City ranks as the 8th largest metropolitan city in the United States in terms of actual land area. Now, granted, we're only 20th in terms of population. Now, including the surrounding towns and suburbs, the Oklahoma City metro area is comprised of nearly 1.4 million people. And for those reasons, Oklahoma City metro really is a lot bigger than a lot of people realize. And because we're so spread out, I hate to break this to you, but a car is almost a necessity to get around. Really only in the downtown and near downtown areas is public transit prevalent and readily accessible. However, we do have a new streetcar system that was recently introduced. Lastly, the state continues to grow at a faster pace than the rest of the country. We added 33,000 new residents in 2022. When you combine 2022 and 21, we gained 61,000 new residents, putting us about 10th among all states in the U.S. when you look at population growth. So that's it for a few things to be aware of if you're moving to the Sooner State, as we're called. I'll go into more detail about the pros and the cons of living here in later videos. For those wondering what's up with this old guy making YouTube videos, well, I've enclosed a link here to a video I made introducing myself, talking a little bit more about my background and the overall objectives for the channel. So I hope you'll click on that if you'd like to find out more. If you're getting value from the content like I've just shown, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like and subscribe button below. Also, hit the notification bell if you'd like to know, when I post a new video, which I plan to do weekly. I look forward to hearing from you in the comments below. By the way, if you'd like to reach me to discuss moving here or talk to me about anything, you can phone, text, or email me using the information links in the description below. So that's it. Until next time, I want to thank you for watching. Adios. Or perhaps key considerations when, and the dog just walked in the shop. God. And I was doing so good too.